In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to roast pumpkin seeds, how to make your own pumpkin puree, and how to roast your own pumpkin all in one video. I'm Esther from Essy Cooks, and I was surprised to show you guys how easy it is to do all of this with one pumpkin. So I've got about a 3-pound pumpkin here, just a kind of smaller pumpkin. I'm going to cut that in half carefully with a sharp knife, and I want the sides to be fairly equal so that they cook evenly in the oven. And I'm just going to pull the stem off. I am not going to roast that, and I'm going to grab my strainer here to save my pumpkin seeds. So using a fairly sharp spoon, I'm going to just spoon out those guts, that flesh from inside the pumpkin. And I'm just going to pull out all of those seeds, which all sounds so Halloween-y. I'm going to start pulling the seeds away from the pumpkin flesh there. I'm going to start just removing them. I don't want any of that pumpkin in here. I want to get the seeds as much isolated by themselves as possible. Then I've got the seeds in my colander here, and I'm going to rinse them really well in water. And once I'm done rinsing them, they will have a few little pieces of pumpkin that I'm going to pull out. So just pull those right out from the colander and get them, as clean as you possibly can. Now I'm going to set out a kitchen towel. I do not recommend a paper towel. I've tried it before. All the seeds got stuck to them. I want to dry these fairly quickly, so I'm just moving them around on the towel to let them dry. Now, first up, I'm going to preheat my oven to 350 degrees so that it's preheated, and I'm just going to rub a little bit of olive oil, like 1 teaspoon, on the outsides of the pumpkin. Then I'm going to place them face side down on a baking sheet with parchment paper, and I'm going to put them into that preheated oven. So I'm going to put them in at 350 degrees. I'm going to check them at 30 minutes. This can take 45, 50 minutes. It depends, but I checked them at 30 minutes and they were ready. You want to be able to pierce a fork through like this very easily, and then it is totally cooked and ready to go. So I'm just going to pull that out of the oven, and you can see how it's so beautifully cooked, and it's going to be so easy to scoop out and turn into a puree. So to turn this into a puree, all we have to do is blend it up in a high-powered blender. I mean, you probably don't even need a high-powered blender. Just any blender will do, or food processor. So I'm just going to scoop all of that pumpkin and put it directly into the blender, and I am going to be blending that up until it's nice and smooth and creamy. And you guys, this is so amazing. I was surprised at the difference this makes. It tastes so different from the canned stuff. Now back to my pumpkin seeds. Leave the oven on, leave it at 350. You can use the same baking sheet as before, so this saves you on dishes, it saves you on preheating the oven. Then we're going to add a teaspoon of olive oil, we're going to add half a teaspoon of salt, and then pepper. You can add any of your other favorite seasonings as well. So I did about a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, hot chili powder, and paprika, and I just mix those all together with my clean hands and just pat them around so that they have a bit of distance between them all. Throw them into the oven at 350 and set a timer for 5 minutes. Now we can put our pumpkin puree into a jar, and this will last up to 1 week in the fridge and up to 3 months in the freezer, and it is so delicious. I have a bunch of ideas of what you guys can make with that too if you check out the blog. Now at 5 minutes, we are going to toss those seeds around and see where they're at. We're going to toast these up to 15 minutes, but you want to check them every 5 minutes to see where they're at. These only took about 10-11 minutes for me, and they were beautifully toasted. You can see they're lightly browned on the outside, and then we just want to allow those to cool before we're eating them. And they come out perfectly every time. Just make sure you keep an eye on those and keep watching. We're going to do a taste test first with my dog on the pumpkin puree. She absolutely approved of it, and then my husband is going to try the pumpkin seeds.
Taste time. These look nice. Very nice.
Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video and you want to see more like this, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button below.